Welcome back. We will be looking at the general context of non financial performance indicators in this segment from three major perspectives. And those three, prescribed for you in the exam or in the syllabus, are the management of human resources, product and service quality, and brand awareness and company profile. So pay attention to these things. And this is not exhaustive. This is not, these three are not the only three areas in the company or relevant to company performance that requires non-financial performance indicators, but these are just examples for you to understand that even by looking at them, right? HR or managing HR, product quality, service quality, brand awareness, are these things quantitative? Are these things measurable, like revenue and cost and operational cost and asset value and net book value and all these financial figures that we have? Can you quantify customer awareness like that? Can you quantify brand awareness like that? Can you quantify product quality like that? These are all qualitative aspects. These are not financial, these are not numerical aspects. These are all qualitative behavioral aspects that you cannot really quantify easily, which is why NFPIs become very important. So um, we look at these three to establish an understanding of the examples of what kind of NFPIs can we establish to come up with things, because we also want to measure. That's the need. We want to measure things, and in order to measure, we have to come up with some sort of way. And even though our measures, our KPIs to measure these non-financial or qualitative areas are not perfect, you just try to do the best you can. So in terms of HR, these are few examples, and for each of those example activities, possible KPIs, example KPIs have been provided. So just make sure that you go through all of them. I'm going to look at just one: recruitment and selection. So that is an important aspect of HR. Now, how do you understand whether recruitment and selection process is done well? That you do by looking at measures like time to fill a position. If it's really effective, maybe you fill the position well. A female to male ratio, that would be a metric to measure diversity in your HR policy. In addition to that, okay, let's take a look at service, product and service quality. Um, how can you measure, right? Example KPIs or the areas that you would want to measure. The quality of incoming supplies. For example, a sample of incoming supplies may be inspected to determine the level of quality, and then maybe you can. Quality is something that is nowadays this 1 to 10 or 1 to 5 or the star based approach is being used everywhere, or agreed, disagreed, neutral, that kind of thing. Quality of work completed. Again, a sample of output may be checked. So this is what quality inspection is, right? What happens in factories and everywhere that quality inspection happens, what people do or what companies do is that they look at a sample, because they might be manufacturing millions of units, and going through each and every unit is quite impractical. So with every batch they produce, they have a standard mechanism. They come up with something sophisticated to select the sample. A sample, or maybe it could be random sampling, maybe it could be specific sampling. Whatever sampling approach, they pick a sample, test it out, make sure those qualities are good, and then say that the batch is good and take a chance with it. And then once it goes to the customer, of course, there could be defective products which are eligible or which could be eligible for return. And of course, customer satisfaction. This is one of the best metrics or best ways to understand whether your product or service quality is good. Nowadays, almost everything is rated. Rating is given out of 5 stars. That's like something I have to deal with every day on a daily basis. Here in the Western world, I feel like everything is based on a rating. uh, I don't know whether it's a good thing or bad thing. So that's here you have a few examples and one illustration from the Heathrow International Airport Holdings Limited, where what kind of measures are used to evaluate or to analyze the certain quality characteristics that they have identified, and what or how exactly is it done. For example, if you take something like comfort, the crowdedness is the measure, and you can do surveys and you can do physical inspections. You can actually literally track the number of people, and in the airport, what areas get crowded the most, etc., etc. So make sure that you go through that. The third aspect, another very strong, very important, very critical non-financial or qualitative aspect that is important for the business success, is brand awareness and company profile. Now, how exactly do you measure something like that? Brand awareness, it's the level of the brand that is known, how many people know, and how well do they understand the brand, and whether the understanding they have is positive or not. This is brand awareness in all these contexts. A company profile is essentially something that is written. It's in written format. It could be on video format now. It could be a production and advertisement, but some form of content that presents the company outward. So these are all important aspects. And in addition to that, these are very closely linked to performance and customer loyalty as well, right? Because if you take something like Apple, which is one of the companies in the world that commands the maximum or the highest amount of customer loyalty, as you can see, brand awareness and corporate profile are huge, are big, important matters. So in this context, you can use FPIs, of course, any FPIs that kind of give a wider picture, an overall picture, like marketing spend against sales, market share, elasticity of demand to price, and profit margins, right? General, anything relevant. But non-financial, customer awareness of the brand and of the company in general. You can use surveys, you can use, questionnaires, etc. You can, see how well your marketing campaigns are being used, number of likes, number of shares, number of comments, etc. Consumer opinions, for example, in here in on the quality of the product or service. So as you know, opinion sharing, it's more qualitative in nature, it's more subjective in nature. We generally see, the same kind of service getting completely different feedback, completely different opinions as reactions from customers. So this is something that is quite commonly seen. And the percentage of repeat customers, you have different ways. Actually, something like percentage of repeat customers in this, day of digital age, it's very easy. Even if you take a website, you can track the number of repeat customers and the new customers based on the IP addresses that they are using to logging into the website. So digitally, of course, it's very easy to measure as well. So these are all different metrics that you have that can translate and give you a view on your brand awareness, your brand reputation, brand acceptance, positivity, negativity around the brand, etc. So that is exactly, these are just a few examples of how um, NFPIs are looked at in the context of different segments. We looked at HR, we looked at brand awareness, we looked at product and service quality. But to give you an additional view, it's quite general, right? Because what you can do is you can really segregate an important area from your business, like competitiveness here. And for each of those areas, you can come up with any number of KPIs as you prefer, right? As long as it's relevant. And different companies that have very specific requirements, they have, their needs and wants are very specific. They have very specific understanding of what they want to measure. Then, you can build KPIs based on that. So please don't assume that this is an exhaustive list or there's a exact science to this. If you ever start a business, you have your own way to it. You have your own, you know your business best, and you can measure the performance based on that. So here, for example, I'm just giving you a few examples here. Competitiveness, sales growth by product or service, size of customer base, market share, activity level. You have so many, right? Number of units, labor hours, machine hours, number of passengers carried, overdue debt collected, productivity, manufacturing cost per unit, capacity utilization of facilities, labor force, labor utilization, number of units produced on average per day, per week, per man day, average setting up time for a new production run, average maintenance time, etc. Quality of service, number of units rejected, number of units failing, number of visits by customer representatives, number of new accounts gained or lost, number of repeat customer orders, all of that. Customer satisfaction, average time taken to respond to customer inquiries, expressed customer satisfaction with sales staff, because sometimes that's a good metric, because sometimes if you let the customer go, or that's why a lot of companies try to immediately collect the reviews and response, saying what is it. As soon as the call is over, you'll hear like a automatic recording or something, or you'll get SMS saying rate the service that you got. Expressed customer satisfaction with technical representatives, number of customer complaints received, etc. So customer satisfaction. Quality of staff experience, days of absence per week, staff turnover, number of new qualifications or courses completed by staff, number of new staff skills certified, express job satisfaction, qualification levels of newly recruited staff, and innovation, a number of new products or services brought to market, proportion of sales relating to new products, technical lead relative to competitors, lead time to bring new products to market, go to time, etc. So as you can see, from the syllabus we looked at those. These are just a few other examples. Depending on the sector or depending on the area that you want to measure, area that you want to understand your performance through, you can basically come up with the relevant KPIs and get your work done. So on that note, we complete this segment. I'll see you soon. Thank you and good luck.